you learn business and entrepreneurship anyways is by doing the duct tape method. You don't know anything. You don't know what you don't know, period. And so you got to do shit to figure it out. What's up, dudes? My name is Matt, and this is Leia.
Hello.
And you're listening to a podcast where you get to listen to our honest conversations on the road as we travel to all 48 continental United States. Welcome to Getting to Know Us.
We had a strategy meeting, and so we are going to take you through what we will be doing every episode, which is basically telling you where we are now, where we just came from, and overall all the things that we learned on our last trip.
I don't know if we need to explain that necessarily, do we? Explain, like, here's the new structure of it. I think you're just going to listen to it, and here's the structure.
I just think it's interesting, like, that we, like, had a meeting about, like, you know, people wonder, I don't know. I think it's interesting to hear, like, behind the brain of, like, how this all comes together. I don't know.
Right.
Take it, leave it, do whatever you want.
I know what you're saying. We're leaving Las Vegas. We're on the way out. We're probably like an hour out now.
No.
2 hours.
Almost 3.
Almost 3 hours out. Time flies when you're having fun.
When you're not driving.
When you're not driving. Time flies when you're driving too, though. I feel like it went by really fast on the way to Vegas.
Yeah.
But
a lot of excitement. But yeah, we're going to the Grand Canyon. We are checking into a Best Western.
Yeah, we actually,
excited.
Fun fact, we stayed at this Best Western, my family and I, when I, in like 2005, we did this huge road trip from Los Angeles to Wyoming, Yellowstone National Park. And yeah, we stayed at this specific Best Western when we went to the Grand Canyon.
It's really fascinating, I'm sure.
Very fascinating.
Very aroused by that. Yeah, so we're going there. We came from Vegas, and in Vegas, we stayed with Ricky and his wife, Nikki.
Ricky and Nikki.
And how did we get that connection?
Well, I originally met Ricky through my Instagram. Okay, so like Cottonmouth Media, which
and what is
we haven't talked about at all. Yeah, Cottonmouth Media is like my cannabis-friendly brand / influencer persona, I guess. It's really like just a cannabis-friendly video platform, essentially, right? So like I make videos on YouTube about how to teach beginners that are just getting into cannabis how to, you know, smoke from a bong for the first time, roll a joint for the first time. Anything that you can think of that a beginner might need to know about cannabis is essentially what I'm trying to help out with. And so it's also a great way for me to be able to like network in the industry through the Cottonmouth Media and build a brand that people want to do business with. And so it's worked out pretty decently so far. Got like 4,000 YouTube subscribers on the rise, a little over 2,000 Instagram followers, and started doing it like 2 years ago. But so when I started doing that, about 6 months ago, I started getting a little bit more traction on YouTube, and I passed 1,000 subscribers, and so I wanted to like give back to the community that was supporting me, and so I did this Instagram contest to give away a free photo shoot. Ricky Clark randomly entered into it, and he actually won.
10 people entered.
10 people entered into this competition, and he won, and he's from Las Vegas, Nevada. And so
you kept in contact,
and I was like, bro, you want to do this photo shoot over the summer, aka can we stay with you for 3 days?
And they were gracious enough to host us.
Yeah.
And they were so nice.
It was pretty sweet, honestly.
Got to hang out with all their dogs and their kitties.
Yeah, they've got some sick dogs.
We had our own room. We were able to cook them some dinner.
Yeah, little thank you dinner, and we left them a nice thank you note. So
yeah,
that's actually a good note for like
business.
Like part of this is documenting like our business adventures and endeavors, and part of that we're firm believers in, that I can give Leia the credit for this idea and doing this more so, but thank you notes. They're so underrated and go such a long way. And you know, people will still talk about how, wow, I really love that you took the time to do a handwritten note for me.
Well, it's just like when you're leaving, you know, it's kind of hard to like be authentic and like really say everything that's on your mind.
Right.
You know, and it's like we really enjoyed our stay with them, and we want them to understand that we really appreciate them, and we can say that in person, but there's something very special about someone taking the time to really gather your thoughts, write it out, leave it for them. It's a gesture, it's really.
And now it's like you get to leave a piece of us with them that they get to remember. And honestly, they were insanely nice, gracious hosts. Like,
5 stars.
Yeah, really 5 stars. 6 if we could. 6 if we could. But they definitely went above and beyond in regards to like hosting us, and we definitely were spoiled as our first like stop on a long road trip like this. So thank you to the Clarks. It was really fun though. I guess we can kind of jump into like, what did we do when we were in Vegas? What were we doing when we were in Las Vegas the last 2.5 days?
To understand what we were doing is that while we did some planning, this road trip is a lot of winging it, and Vegas was our first stop, and we're just kind of getting our feet wet. We've both been to Vegas before, so we weren't itching to go to the Strip or go out or, do any specific things. We spent a lot of our time, I spent a lot of my time figuring out what we were going to do in the Grand Canyon. You were editing a video.
Finished a video, so new video for my Cottonmouth Media channel on the PAX, a review on the PAX pen.
Right, and something that I think we're struggling with, or not struggling with, but trying to figure out right now is, okay, like, this is our new lifestyle, like, what time are we going to get up in the morning? What's our routine? But, like, it's constantly changing. Like, tonight we're staying at a hotel. The next time we're going to be staying with my friend Jordan, like, and that's a different environment, we have to be kind of like a chameleon to like what we can do, but really I think we're trying to figure out our rhythm and how to get work done, have fun.
Right. It's an interesting balance, feeling like we're on this long vacation, but we're also on this long business trip. And so like kind of finding like a happy middle with that to make sure that we have fun, but making sure that we're really executing on being productive and finishing our work, and even being more than just like being efficient with our work. And actually, like, I don't want to have the next 3 months be like, oh, my workflow was less.
Right. How long have we been talking for?
10 minutes.
Okay. I was just like, okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, but
in our relationship, I am very much what time is it? We need to figure out the plan.
I'd say overall you are. I think I have a good sense of time in general. No, I have a good sense of time in general. I'm pretty good at estimating, like, yeah, it's this time or we have this much time left, but I don't always get places on time.
Okay. We're working on it. Yeah, I think some interesting things to talk about, especially in the beginning, is just like some challenges that we know that we have to face, and like that we know is a part of this road trip,
Right.
I think for me is like being able to let go a little bit more. I can be really uptight about the schedule, the Google Calendar, I need to know what I'm doing, and I'm a to-do list person, and I love checking stuff off. And I think with this, it's, you kind of gotta jump and go for it, and kind of fake it till you make it, and improvise, and keep up a positive attitude even when things aren't necessarily going the way that you thought they were. I think that's something I definitely want to improve on, and I think that's what's forcing us like to do that on this road trip.
Yeah, I mean, that just comes with anything, being able to do it for a long time well, like a good relationship or having a good career, or is being patient for the process, and just taking it all with a grain of salt, because it's easy to get up in your dome about whatever that may be bothering you, but unless it's something truly dramatic, that's it's really not that big of a deal. But I'm excited for, as we keep going in the road trip, being able to like travel and feel like I'm having fun, but also still being okay with working more. But yeah, it was definitely a good time in Vegas. We got to go to Planet 13, which is like,
that's a hotel.
Actually, fun fact, the largest cannabis dispensary on the planet currently. Right, Planet 13, right? But so obviously we went to go buy weed and saw all of the different strains that they had there and all the different products and all the different brands they're highlighting. It's pretty crazy, honestly. You roll up and it literally feels like you're rolling up to it feels like you're rolling up to a hotel or a club.
It feels like I thought it was a hotel.
It felt like we were rolling up to a club or the front of a really fancy hotel. And you had security guards just like chilling outside.
You could have your phone out.
Yeah, it was super touristy.
You vlogged it.
I vlogged the entire experience to like try doing a different type of vlog where it's on my phone and I put it on IGTV, but like didn't have anyone say a single thing to me the entire time. I'm just ruthless, recording things, holding it up, recording my face, talking about things, definitely getting other people in it, which, you know, if they don't want to be in it, I won't show their face, but like, we were being ruthless with our camera. And if I had a DSLR, it probably would have, of course, been a different story, but just having your phone, they didn't give a shit, dude. It was all about tourism. They want you to record it with your phone because they're smart and they'll get the word out more. Of course. Because they want people to show their friends and all that stuff. But man, that was quite an experience. There's a ton of Tyson Ranch products there. We saw Steezy there. And then piggyback on that, the prices there, of course, you know, it's recreational and taxes are now pretty heavy, of course, if you're aware of the industry, of the cannabis industry and all that shit that's going down with it. But wow, that was flabbergasting, the prices that we wanted to get an eighth of weed, of some dank indica, and then we wanted to get a Steezy pod because we have a Steezy, so we wanted to buy like a half-gram pod.
And the guy goes, yeah, that'll be $147.
Oh, he said, like, that's 140. He's like, 147, da-da-da. And I was like, ew. $147 for that? I was like, dude, I can get that half-gram pod in California for $25, $30.
Yeah, I know.
And it was funny because I initially reacted like surprised, and I feel like he thought I was upset, but I was actually just being like surprised and amazed by the prices. But
that was a highlight.
So then we're like, wait, we actually don't want the Steezy pod. We'll just take the Kush.
Right. Yeah, we hung out. It was fun. We didn't.
The weirdest thing is they actually have these these big balls, like little planet things that change colors, and they fly around every hour on the hour as like an entertainment thing.
Over the top.
The lights go down and it's like a club and it's like doosh, 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 doosh.
Very over the top. Very
over the top, but kind of interesting and fun and different. It seems like the way of the future that they'll have dispensaries. Like it's like you were in a shopping mall, 100%. But yeah, that was probably the highlight, I would say, of the trip. And then also getting to know Ricky and Nikki better and smoking with them. That was really fun.
That was really fun. We filmed an episode of Smoking with Strangers.
Yeah, so if you want to get to know them better, then you should jump over to the Cottonmouth Media somewhere. I'm not sure where that's going to live, honestly, but if you're going to Cottonmouth, that'll probably live on my IGTV. So if you go to the Cottonmouth Media Instagram, then you should be able to find that and meet them and get to know them better. Or it's going to be on YouTube or the WeedTube. So, yeah, good luck finding it, I guess.
I know. Well, I mean, I think what's interesting, a challenge for us is that, like, where is everything going to live?
Right.
You know, like
when we're finished producing.
Is it gonna live on Facebook? Is it gonna live on? There's so many different platforms now.
Right.
And they're completely different. Like they're just really, you get a different audience. It's a different it's a dimension. It's a different so many things to consider. So it's interesting for us as creatives, especially when working with like clients, for example. Like figuring out, okay, like should this be a square video? Should this be like, should we put subtitles on this? I feel like always constantly thinking ahead about like where is it gonna live and everything is important. But we're trying to expand our knowledge and try new things.
Experiment more.
Part
of where it lives and how you record it and all that stuff is definitely just like a personal decision and kind of the duct tape method, you don't really know that you should have done this until you've done it and fucked it up.
Yeah, let's talk about the duct tape method.
Yeah, well, the duct tape method, I mean, a perfect example was yesterday with the first episode of this podcast, or pre-episode, if you will. And we were literally just using gaff tape to just hold up the camera, you know. And the idea of the duct tape method,
was janky.
the duct tape method, if you're not aware, is doing things on the fly, you know, kind of like learn by doing, do something now, and okay, learn,
Fix it
okay,
later,
well now I need to take this big fat piece of duct tape and stick it on to make sure this stays the way we're doing it.
Right.
And so that's a lot of how you learn business and entrepreneurship anyways, is by doing the duct tape method. You don't know anything, you don't know what you don't know, period. And so you gotta do shit to figure it out. You want to understand the U.S. better? Go on a goddamn road trip to all 48 states, and then go fly to Alaska and Hawaii, then go back to all the states again eventually. That's how you learn about it. But yeah, I think it's interesting kind of bouncing off the duct tape method. Oh look, Gus's really good jerky. And Gus's is a restaurant that we actually work with in Slow. And I missed it.
Yeah,
I missed it.
You
Totally missed it. Totally missed it. But yeah, anyways, duct tape method, bouncing off of like our client work. It was actually a little bit difficult to be like, oh, we're in Las Vegas, we're gonna get this Cottonmouth Media content done, edit these videos, plan for the next part of our trip.
Yeah,
but then, oh wait, shit, we have to make sure we do photos and make sure we're bringing the products and stuff along with us that we photograph.
Yeah, I don't know the secret sauce to it.
I mean, again, it's duct tape method. You're gonna figure it out. Like,
figure it out.
It helped. Like we did a little mini photo shoot with Ricky because he won that free photo shoot and his wife, and so we went and did that actual photo shoot at a, you know, like a little park where you could see Las Vegas cityscape in the background, which was actually really cool. And we're like, oh shit, we should have brought all the products. This would have been a great spot to take our photos for Las Vegas. But the other part is not judging yourself on if you didn't do it in that moment, because there's so many future moments where we're going to be able to get great content. But then it's also like you do want to make sure that you are being disciplined to make sure that we're keeping our clients as happy as possible, because maybe that was a really great opportunity and they have a market they're developing in Las Vegas, and now we just missed that opportunity. So it's like a give and a take, but again, the key is to like not judge yourself when you are doing the duct tape method and fucking up, because it's important to just take that and apply it now to what you're doing and not getting upset with ourselves. But I think yesterday we did a good job of not being like super upset that we didn't bring, and we kind of missed out on an opportunity, because we did still get other stuff.
Yeah.
Had an opportunity, we just...
It's working with what you got, and then also just like, okay, you know, I learned from it. Next time, I'm going to make sure that I have all my props in my backpack.
Right. Before we
go.
It's
hard. It's really hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like
but the great aspect, I guess, of the road trip is that we're going to be learning how to do all of this.
Right.
You know, so like we're going to continue to take photos for the rest of our lives.
The next day.
Exactly. And we're going to continue to take photos for the rest of our lives, take videos the rest of our lives. And so like the things we learn on this road trip, I'll be able to use when I'm fucking 50, and I'm like, oh, we're doing product photo shoot with some of our friends that we're staying with in this country, and I know that I need to have a backpack prepared for this, and know that I need these different props to bring beforehand, but then also like, you know, bring a few other things or not bring a few other things to make sure we're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be
finding that balance.
Yeah.
Finding that balance.
Find the balance.
So yeah, I'd say that pretty much wraps up Vegas.
That wraps up Vegas. We're going to the Grand Canyon.
Going to the Grand Canyon, really excited. We're supposed to go on a hike today. See a beautiful sunset.
Wait, before we actually get into the Grand Canyon, what were some of our main takeaways? We kind of touched on this a little bit. What were our main takeaways about like the people that we met in Las Vegas, and then like us as a couple, and then kind of like as business people? We kind of talked already about business people, I feel like.
Wrap it up though.
But wrapping it up, so, Nikki and Clark, they were amazing hosts. We already talked about
Nikki and Clark, Nikki and Ricky.
Nikki and Clark, Ricky and Nikki, Nikki Clark, Nikki and Clark. No, but Ricky and Nikki were, honestly, they were our type of people.
Yeah, totally. We vibed with them.
Yeah.
And
they had really fun dogs and animals that they obviously treat really well. I feel like they're both 23 and they're married though.
Yeah, they're really young, and so getting to hear like why they got married and you know, they were
their engagement story.
Yeah, they were very open with us, and that was awesome. I mean, they were strangers. I mean, like, real strangers. I didn't know.
I could have gotten catfished, or he could have gotten catfished, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. Like, yeah, you guys follow each other on Instagram, but, you know, who knows? What if we didn't jive at all? Like, what What if we?
Yeah.
What if it was awkward?
Or moralistically disagreed on certain things,
yeah, I don't
or
know.
whatever.
It was great though. I think we learned that we have friends in them now, and to like bet on the kindness of strangers, like caution. But
it was interesting to also talk to other people that were like our age, that were in
a different spot
in their lives, but similar in a sense, but then also that they have different families than us. And so like I feel like we actually have really supportive families in the sense that they really are okay with us consuming cannabis and filming and talking about cannabis on the internet and really putting ourselves out there in the cannabis community. Whereas I don't think their parents are nearly as supportive about that.
Right.
And us being able to meet and like talk about that and be like, oh, well, this is our perspective on it living in California versus you living here in Nevada with parents maybe that aren't as supportive of it. And I feel like it gave them some confidence maybe in like, just go for it. Like, fuck it. Who cares?
Right.
It's going to become nationally, federally legal and deschedulized. I really do think that's going to happen really fucking soon. And so it was great to be able to give
I think
our 2 cents on.
I think for Vegas, a lot of people think it's just a tourist town.
Right.
But there's
you just think about the Strip typically when you think of Vegas.
There's a lot of people that live there. So it was cool to see the suburbs, I would say.
Yeah, the residential area is actually massive. Something really interesting we learned actually is the population has been growing steadily since, Las Vegas started or whatever. And the population was steadily growing in the 2000s, and then all of a sudden, the last since 2017, I think they had a little over 600,000 residents. There's now 3 million, over 3 million. That's only 2 years later, and they have almost quadrupled their population. I think that place is gonna blow up. Vegas is gonna be like a hot spot. No pun intended.
Yeah, it was hot.
But actually, we got really lucky. There was good weather while we were there too.
Yeah, so I would say that about the people. Business, I mean...
Again, the duct tape method. We learned a lot on the fly. We learned about what we need to do a little bit more maybe in the next stop.
Charging batteries before you go to sleep.
Yes,
That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer that we always typically did. But
when you're tired...
That's the other part too, is we're trying to enjoy ourselves at the end of the night and hang out with the people that are hosting us or whatever, and so we smoke, but then it's like we're super tired, but now we got a plan for the next day. And then I fall asleep, which typically it's the reverse. Usually I stay up and you fall asleep.
You're right, but in this situation I feel like it's more serious.
Right. When it's more serious, I fall asleep.
Yeah, it's more serious. Like, we really did have to get on the road today. Like, if I didn't make our sandwiches last night, if I didn't like put away our clothes, if I didn't think about these things, we would have been in trouble.
MVP.
Thank you.
But yeah, and then us as a couple, what did we take away from that?
Oh, this is a good talking point. Okay, and I think I told you this too. So I love preparing the night before. We were just talking about this. So I love putting out my clothes for the next day, especially because we have big suitcases. We're gonna have to zip them up. You don't want to have to look for them in the morning. So I start gathering my clothes. Then I was like, oh, I should probably gather Matt's clothes too because he's not gonna do it.
You should get in the left lane.
So I did that yesterday, and normally I feel like I'd be angry. I'd be like, why doesn't he do this? This is so smart that I do this. Why doesn't he think the way that I think? And it would just annoy me. And then yesterday I was just thinking you know what? I think of it, and thank God I do, and I should just power to me for saving our asses. And it's honestly what I enjoy. I like being super prepared. I like being yeah, I made the sandwiches last night, even when I was stoned. Even when I didn't want to, because it saves our ass tomorrow morning.
Right.
So I'm just we are a team, and it's that's what I can bring to the table. And instead of being annoyed at you that you don't think of those things or whatever, because I do.
There's the same things, but in reverse too. I'd say I typically take care of the things that I own a little bit more thoughtfully than you do, than Leia does. And so instead of me getting annoyed with the fact that you don't do it, I should take pride that I do it, and that I don't need to get annoyed or angry if I'm trying to show you hey, don't fucking do this. You know, and just explain it calmly and like take it with a grain of salt, because I'm the one that has the instilled habits to really take care of like everything I touch.
Right.
And so
all these people are passing me. Sorry, you should have been.
It's okay. Sorry, we're in the middle of recording a podcast.
Sorry, you guys.
Sorry. But yeah, those were the main takeaways I'd say as a couple. Learning to let go, you know? And it was cool to just like see what another couple was like that's married, that's the same age as us, and kind of where they're at. I feel like maturity wise, we were actually at similar levels, but then they surpass us in regards to being like responsible adults, because he owns, you know, they own a house together, and so they're building up their equity as a couple and financially setting themselves up, because that market, like I was just saying, I really think it's going to blow up because Vegas is so popular and becoming more popular.
Yeah.
So I really think, you know, they're doing a good job in other aspects that we're not doing, but I think, you know, we do other things. Like they were just saying last night when we were talking to them that like we were inspiring them by doing this road trip and being so like willing to put ourselves out there like that, because they want to travel themselves, and you know, they want to have fun in their lives too. And so they're like, oh man, they're our age and they're doing all this stuff and they're sending it, so you know, and maybe they're gonna go travel more and go do that stuff. You know, it's fun to be able to connect like that, and I definitely feel like we made lifelong friends.
Yeah Cool. All right, guys,
what was the last thing that we said we wanted to talk about?
I don't know. What was last thing?
What are we expecting next?
Oh yeah, Grand Canyon.
Where are we going next, and what can we expect?
I feel like this is long already. Okay, so
yeah, we can wrap this up. But I'm excited for the Grand Canyon. Oh, that building looked like the Disneyland like rifle thing. If you ever were in Frontierland and done that, that's what that looked like just now. And Medusa Farms medical dispensary. Fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're in Arizona.
Anyways.
Excited for Grand Canyon. We're only here for basically a full day.
Yeah.
And excited to see sunset, sunrise, and then after that we're gonna be heading to New Mexico. So
New Mexico will be fun because we're going to be able to stay with Leia's really good friend Jordan, who we've worked with on a few films before, and Leia went to Costa Rica with her to help her
talk about that next
with her other main thesis film that she was doing not that long ago. But yeah, we'll update you guys all on the next state about New Mexico in the next episode. So
this is getting to know us.
I was going to say, we haven't come up with an outro, but
I don't know what it is.
This is getting to know us.
We'll figure it out later. Duct tape method.
Thanks for getting to know us. I'm Matt. This is Leia.
Hi. All right.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.